At this point, you were obviously sliding on rest days between workouts. So, do you think that training back to back can hinder your recovery for the workout the next day? Like if you're training, like for example, even if it's opposing muscle groups, because I have my own experience with it, but I'd be curious if that was also the, I guess, thought process there with sliding in rest days. Because let's say you did legs and then the next day you try to do back. I mean, there's a systemic fatigue that's there from the previous day, but
Well, that is a back-to-back workout I would not do. If I was going to do back-to-back workouts, which when I went to my 4-day split pre-contest, I would train legs on Monday, I'd train chest on Tuesday. When I was still coaching and I had a powerlifting team and I had a high school kid that was my training partner, and would work legs on Monday and we work chest on Tuesday. And so one day this kid said, Coach, can we switch this up? He goes, on Tuesdays, I'm still tired from my leg workout on
right.
Mondays. And he goes, I know I could do better on chest, but I'm tired. It does affect you. Yeah.
Being meticulous about like increasing loads over time. How important is that, do you think, for building muscle naturally? And do you think that the extra rest days helped with that? If it was important to you, I mean.
I mean, definitely the rest days were super important. I mean, by that time, when I started doing that, I was about 36, I think, at the time.
36.
I started going to the 3-day a week training. Especially for a more mature bodybuilder, it's critical when, you're 23, 24, or even younger. Some of these kids, I wish I had started training for bodybuilding when I was in my teens because your hormones are going crazy and you don't need as many rest days.
When you're looking at something that's a little bit outside of the general recommendations that have been put out there for wanting to build muscle and do it naturally. And 3 days per week, there's not a lot of professional natural bodybuilders only training 3 days per week, whether that be because they enjoy training and they want to be in the gym more. But I can truly appreciate the reduction in frequency to accommodate for recovery, right? Because
Yeah.
I've also experimented with it and I have noticed that strength goes up when I am training just a little bit less. Yeah, of course, there's trade-offs, right? Like, yeah, you can't be in the gym as much. And maybe you do enjoy training and you love training, but what's going to be better for your progress? I think that's the number one question that a competitor wants to answer and be aligned with, right?
Yeah.
And I think we were talking about how, like, training back to back days, how you would do things specifically, because you mentioned that there was a kid you were coaching where you would train legs and the next day you would do chest. And he was even saying how, well, I'm feeling pretty tired after just yesterday's leg day. But is there a specific way you would arrange it if you were going to do back-to-back workouts, like 4 day per week split?
When I did my 4-day per week split, you want to get your workouts in the week. There's only a certain number of days, and so
Right.
if you're doing a 4-day split, you're going to have to do some back-to-back days. So the way I did it, I trained legs on Monday, and after a while, I quit training triceps with chest because by the time I got to triceps, from all the pressing, they were already so fried. I felt like I
Yes.
was just kind of going through the motions. Somebody read an article about, pairing chest and biceps. And so I started doing that. And that worked out extremely well. I mean, I couldn't have been happier when I started doing that. For my 4-day split, I would do legs on Monday, chest and biceps on Tuesday, take Wednesday off of weights. Thursday, I would train back, including starting with deadlifts. I would train back. And then on Friday, I train shoulders, bis, and tris. That's how I
Okay.
split it up.
You would actually hit the biceps twice.
Oh, let me back that up. No.
Oh, you did the shoulders and triceps only.
Yeah, shoulders and triceps. Occasionally, like I said, there were times where I felt body parts were lagging, and there were times that I did do biceps twice a week, once hard, and then once the other time I would just 4 sets, relatively high, like 12 to 15 reps, and just get a really good pump and leave it there.
Okay. So basically, just an example, but because you mentioned back-to-back days, you would do like the legs, say on a Monday. Tuesday, you might hit the chest and the biceps. Take a day off. Thursday, you do the back. Friday, take a day off. Saturday, you hit the shoulders and the triceps.
No, I usually did shoulders and triceps on Friday. Yeah, I could have taken Friday off and did it on Saturday, but after years of doing it, I like to have my weekends off.
Okay.
Just,
I can
personal
understand.
preference.
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
at that juncture, I owned a gym and I was there so much. I didn't want to have to go in on the weekends if I did absolutely have to.
Is there a specific frequency of training that you found worked better for you? And this is about you, so this is not necessarily advice to other people, but for you specifically, did you stumble across a frequency that just meshed well with your goals and your lifestyle?
I did. When I first started, I was training 6 days a week. I was hitting each body part twice a week. And, at 23, at that age, it worked well for a couple of years. And
Right.
then